All right. Legends, how is everybody doing? Let's analyze the situation here for Bitcoin, getting a little bit of a bounce here. As you can see on the higher time frames, yesterday we did start falling down just after the interest rate decision, right? We didn't get much volatility as we got the interest rate decision, which was a big fat nothing burger. We had the federal press conference, which was another big fat nothing burger. And then the price just after the conference, we started moving down quite aggressively. Now, the question is, of course, are we going to manage to sweep the lows, or are we going to front run the lows and start getting a massive bounce from this level? Because I think most of the people like you and me believe that, come on, Bitcoin needs to come down, right, to sweep up these lows. There is a bunch of liquidity. However, we've been front running every single higher low that was being formed during the last few weeks. We formed another higher low here on most of the exchanges, on most of the charts. So is there a possibility that we are going to form a higher low? We're all expecting these lows to be swept, okay, to look for a bounce, to look for a liquidity grab. And then the price comes down very close to those lows and front runs it, right? And it goes to the upside. Could we see that possibility in the next coming days, right? Well, we're going to analyze the sign of strength, right? Because I am not in a long position from these levels, right? I got stopped out from the long position at break even when we were expecting this scenario. This was also mentioned on the live, on the Legends trading community. Looking at this, it was kind of it was too obvious, right? Imagine all of those breakout traders getting into long positions here, right? They're getting absolutely wrecked. Of course, we were longing from lower levels and we were very defensive. There was a long trade here. There was another long trade here. We need to be defensive. We need to follow through. If not, stopped out at break even, okay? And then just wait for the next range to be formed after yesterday's drop, okay? So this is very, very trappy, right? It does look like a reversal sign. So what do we learn from here? Even myself, right? What we learn about this is this breakout was very, very poor with volume, right? Very low volume. We had a lot of resistance, which was the point of control of the entire range between March and July. When we do analyze, okay, that big fat range, where we do have the point of control, we almost tapped it at almost $67,000. There was just a lot going on here regarding resistance, okay? So we needed a very, very powerful breakout if we wanted to hit those target zones. As we were having the news, very choppy price action, big fat nothing burger with the interest rate and Federal Reserve conference, okay? And basically the price just rolling down after the conference, right? Not a successful breakout. It does look like a reversal pattern. So this is why always we need to be aware of, hey, if the price is not pushing through here with steam and volume and it's getting very choppy, it is very possible for it to be a trap, right? So that is what we got. We got a fake out here, got stopped out at break even. Then we just move forward and look for the next trading scenarios, right? What would be a sign of strength is what you want to know in today's video update regarding technical analysis, right? Because there is opportunities every single day. We've had a fantastic week with trading, right? Last Friday with Ethereum, the top at $70,000, still holding some of that short position. Now, overall, looking for the next day trade, swing trade scenario. Yesterday's day trade setup did not play out as well. I mean, maybe if you guys got into that long position from this range that was mentioned, right, where we had that daily level where we got a beautiful bounce, right? We mentioned about this just 2 days ago, right? Getting a nice little bounce of over $1,000, right? In about 24 hours. So that setup, I mean, if you were quick by taking profit, I did not take any profit in this position, guys. I was very defensive and I was just expecting the price to see if it was going to get that little push up, all right, to my take profit zone, which was 67 to 67,500. We were just a few $100s off before getting, the news, and price reversed, stopped out at break even. We look for the next opportunity, right? Not every day is going to be a green day, but if it is going to be a losing day and the predictions are not right, where we want to be very defensive with our capital, right? Protect your capital overall is one of the most important things in trading. Even though you don't think so, you need to be very defensive. The market is here not to give you money, it's here to take your money, right? And as we know that the market is here to trick us and to take our money, we need to be extremely defensive with our positions. Don't get greedy, don't add to the position, don't expect a reversal. All right, because imagine all of those people, right, that were trading a long position with this breakout, right? They're getting into the breakout of this descending wedge and they're starting to long. They're not managing their risk. A lot of them are going to put stop losses beneath the low or maybe add to their position, right? Very irresponsible trading, and they are getting absolutely, liquidated or burnt with this movement down, which was over $2,000, right? So we want to be very selective, very defensive with our trading capital, okay? So just going over what we were talking about yesterday, the potential target zones, also talking about possible shorting levels of resistance, and all of that did not play out. We just reversed from here. So we can not only talk about the good things that are happening on the video, but if the price doesn't go as I am predicting, right, or that I'm looking for the next trading setup, we come here, we talk about it, and we analyze, okay, the situation and, basically, managing risk very well, okay? I had my entry point here. I actually got stopped out on the live stream yesterday on bluffing. I was using bluffing, had the entry, was defensive, got the movement down, got wicked out, and I was just, happy to see what was going to happen next, right? Move to the upside or move to the downside. Now, we moved down quite aggressively. This was very early this morning, okay, UAE time. So I didn't trade any of this price action. We just had a pretty nice move down here and front running this low right over here. There is an old daily level that we can get off the chart, okay? This is an old daily level. Even this is an old daily level, but we will leave it on the chart because it is a little bit of resistance. It has been proven to be support. So we are going to analyze right away, guys. Make sure to destroy the like button if you are happy to see me and you want to see the educational content. We're going to do full analysis on Bitcoin. We can take a look at other altcoins, of course. Make sure to destroy the like button for the algorithm if you do enjoy seeing me here on YouTube and, talking about my opinion and analysis and where we could find the next possible trading opportunity, overall managing risk very well as always. And what are the projected moves, right? What is disturbing about this price action is we are not sweeping the lows, right? We're not sweeping the lows. We're getting a small little reaction. So the question is, where is the highest level of confluence on the higher time frames, right? I have some levels here marked up on the chart that I want to hide right now, right away, because I want to show them right now with a blank chart and explain them in detail. So the question is, if we bounce from this level successfully in the next coming hours, right, between today and tomorrow, is the price going to manage to come all the way back up to $70,000? Or are we going to form a lower high? Well, I don't know. But what I do know is the strongest levels of resistance that we do have on the chart, right? What are the strongest levels of resistance? We need to take a look at Fibonacci extension, retracement, naked point of controls, come to the conclusion where the price could get rejected or get a reaction and then get into the next trading plan, right? So that is what we're going to go. Is he Spanish? Yes. Sí, señor. Soy español, amigo. ¿Cómo estás? Yo Tokyo. I am Spanish. Yes, indeed. English is not my first language. English is my second language, okay? So I am Spanish. I was brought up in Spain. I went to Spanish school, Spanish friends. My mother is English though, so this is why I've got a bit of a British accent, okay? So anyway, just curiosity from someone. Soy español, amigo mío. Aditya, my brother, I'm going to go quickly through the comment section, guys, before we focus on the pure technical analysis to see if we can find a higher time frame opportunity, okay? I am not going to go much through in detail on scalping scenarios that is reserved for the Legends trading community, because it looks like that on YouTube I'm providing too much value, guys. And we are going to talk about higher time frame scenarios, but the intraday scalping setups, okay, that I do focus for the Legends trading community is reserved for those people. That is a lot of time and a lot of effort, and of course I need to give them priority. Nevertheless, we are going to talk about the higher time frame scenarios. What are the expectations for Bitcoin in the next coming days? Could we drop to lower levels? And if we drop to lower levels, what are we expecting? What do we need to see on the price action? I'm going to go in detail of what I want the price to do at certain levels, because if that does happen, then we can look for the different trading scenarios. Okay, so we can set some alerts, be ready, guys, to see to basically get into that opportunity, right, that could happen either to the downside or to the upside. Talking about the local levels of resistance, the local levels of support, and try and come to a conclusion looking at Elliott wave theory as well on where could we be, right? What wave are we in? Okay, could we go to lower levels? Are we going to form a lower high? We are going to come with some different plans, okay? This is what it's all about. Technical analysis is not easy. We need to come, get the planets aligned and see what is the highest probability scenarios and how we can look for a trading setup. Let's go right away. Hoz, how are you? The bottom is in. Buy Doji meme coins, says Hoz. BTC gonna go up or down, says Dandy. Well, for the moment, what I am surprised is Bitcoin likes to front run lately, many levels, right? We're not getting those liquidity grabs and we are front running a lot of levels. And in this case, it's the higher lows, right? So we are managing to form a higher low. It does look like that we're forming a little bit of a ascending broadening wedge here, right? It's a very ascending broadening wedgy structure. Some might think it's a head and shoulder. Some might think it's an ascending broadening wedge. They are usually bearish patterns. However, I've seen ascending broadening wedges, break through to the upside, right, on higher time frame. However, if we do successfully break down from this level, which we are getting supported from, then we do have a possibility in filling the CME futures gap. Yes, that's right. The big CME futures gap that we do have all the way down here at these levels, right? Let me see if I can find the CME futures gap. I have to have it here somewhere on a folder. My goodness, where is it? Got too many stuff here. But basically the CME futures gap, I don't know where the heck I put that gap. But overall, it's in between $58,000, right, and $60,800. We got a CME futures gap right over here at this area. Okay, so this gap, will it be filled or not? We don't know. We know it's very strong support if it is going to be filled. Now, when we do take a look at this ascending broadening wedge, right, which is a bearish pattern most of the times, but we need to break that support, right? We could have a very strong projection to the downside, right, which is the width, okay? We're just doing some basic analysis and projections here. Ascending broadening wedges, where do we have it here? I got the pattern here so you guys can see it. Where do we have it? Where do we have the pattern? Either to the upside or to the downside, okay? There we have it. Ascending broadening wedge, right? This is coming from a downtrend. Usually are bearish patterns, even though you've got an uptrend, okay? And you get into an ascending broadening wedge. If you break down the neckline support level, you could have a significant move down, right? So about this ascending broadening wedge, the width of the wedge, okay, from the basically the forward part of the wedge right over here, the width of that wedge here, if we do manage to break out, the projected move is looking something like this, which would actually come down to fill the CME futures gap. We have that CME futures gap all the way down here, guys. And if we were to break that ascending broadening wedge, right, well, what we're looking at here is that possible projection down to fill that CME futures gap once and for all, right? Very possible. We would have to see a strong breakdown for me to believe, okay, this is looking, possibly bearish. It would have to be a solid breakdown, because what we do have here is some very important levels to get a bounce, right? So it's going to be a very trappy zone. Will it be a fake out? Will it be a breakdown? And what we need to understand is the levels of support. Where could we get the fake out, right? If we do analyze here very carefully, the important levels of support that we do have on higher time frame, okay, if we were to break down, the most important crucial zone is these lows over here, right? You have the price rising in July very nicely, and then you get this start of higher highs and higher lows, right? Which is a bit of a rangy zone. If the price breaks successfully beneath this low right over here, then we are looking for continuation to the downside to get to the next level of resistance, right? Which is this small little order block that we do have right over here, where we could get a reaction, right? Now, this for me is a liquidity grab zone, okay? It's a liquidity grab area. If the price were to come all the way down here, it's a zone where I would be interested in looking for the possible swing failure pattern, right? Claim the first higher lows after this significant rise, which starts right over here. This is a zone for a liquidity grab, okay? We had a beautiful level of resistance, okay, where we had that lower high for a liquidity grab. We did not hit that level, okay? We did not hit that level. This is beautiful. This was beautiful. This was actually the take profit zone and looking for a short position. That was my plan. That was my idea. This did not play out, guys. Did not play out, okay? I was wrong. I was completely wrong about the price going up there. But overall, we created plans. I didn't lose any money here because I was already in long position from lower. Just happy to get stopped out at break even and then obviously look for the next scenarios. So this did not happen, guys. So we need to create more plans. There's more plans to be created, right? There's been days where I've been creating trading plans and there's just no setup that I get into for 2, 3, 4 days. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm creating plans here. And there's no plan A, plan B, or plan C happening, right? And this is what trading is all about, right? We need to see those plans that we have with confluence levels to be hit. Because if that doesn't happen, then we just don't trade, right? We don't trade. Because I get people here in the comment section, are we going up or down? I don't know. You tell me. Are we going up or down? I don't know. I don't know. We need to analyze and see the possible projections and the levels of confluence to then take an informed decision and take a trade responsibly with good risk management, right? So anyway, this is one level that is very interesting for me. Then I want to go through some Elliott wave scenarios, okay? But overall, where we are bouncing at the moment, guys, just something simple. Fibonacci retracement. We have the 382 Fibonacci. We have the 50%, 61878, right? They are very important levels. And just for something simple here is that we have the lows from the 5th of July to the top here of Monday, basically, which was a beautiful short position, guys. Still in that short position. Who is in that short position still? I've taken most of the profits. This was on Monday, right? A nice $900 worth of profit. Still holding a little bit just for the sake of it. Just in case we get a leg down, I might get another few $100s, right? In the next coming days. This was a very nice short position, guys. Without a doubt, swing short, something to maintain open, right? Something to maintain open just in case you get an extra leg down of a few $1,000s. So where we are bouncing right now, just to keep it extremely simple, we got the rise from July from the low to the top. We're hitting the 382. 382 has been tapped to perfection. It would be an aggressive long position. You know, for me, it's very complex to get into a long position here, guys. You know, this is why I'm not in a long position. This is not part of my plan. This is why Bitcoin is just forming. This is why the 0.88 Fibonacci I like the level, okay, but we need a lot of confluence, not only the 0.88 Fibonacci, but we are front running, major lows many times on the chart for Bitcoin. So the main reason why I could not get into a long trading setup here exactly at this level is because we are so close from these lows, right? We are just so close in hitting these lows, and you know that coming down to these lows is a possible liquidity grab, right? You're coming so close to that level. It's a classic woof, right? You get the swoop, the nice movement to the downside to sweep up all of that area, all of these higher lows from over leveraged long positions, right? It's what usually happens, but the market is changing a little bit. We're getting a lot of front runs. You're just like $100 away or even less from claiming a low or claiming a high, and the price kind of leaves without you. And like, hey, I wanted to long. Hey, I wanted to long here. I wanted to see that sweep of the lows to potentially get into long. So it's like market makers are already knowing the strategies, right? They know, okay, most of the people are thinking that we're going to sweep up these lows, and you know what? We are not. And we're just going to reverse from here. And screw you, trader, because you're going to miss that long opportunity. So, we need to kind of adapt to what is happening, right? But this is a long position that I would really not wouldn't want to take, because just say that you're entering a long position here. Where is your stop loss? Unless you have a teeny weeny stop loss, where are you going to put it? You're going to put it beneath the lows. It's kind of you asking to be liquidity, right? You're asking, where am I putting my stop loss? Oh, let's just put it somewhere around here, right? And it's like, come on, you are asking with this falling knife to just get stopped out. So it's a very, very complex long position. I mean, I very rarely I would get into a long position here. Sometimes the price does what it needs to do. So very, very difficult area to get into the long, guys. Let's be honest. Some days are very, very difficult for me. Some days I do not trade. If I don't see the opportunity and it's not clear, I just sit on my hands. So this is why I wouldn't long here, because it's regarding stop loss. Do you want to be liquidity beneath these higher lows? It's something that I would never put stop losses here as you're so close to the level. Now, when we go to a higher time frame, we got a very rare possibility of this being on looking at Elliott wave theory, and this is a bit of more of a complex scenario. What if this is the low, right? What if this is the low of a wave 2, right? We've created the wave 1. You can count 5 waves to the upside, and we are just creating a flat scenario here, and we're going to recover. This would be extremely rare, okay? Extremely rare price action, okay, and structure. Very rare, but I gotta say, it is definitely a possibility. You have the movement here to the upside in a B wave, and this in a running flat, right? Well, it's kind of a regular flat, but we haven't claimed the lows of A wave. That would be the ideal to sweep the lows and then possibly look for the long. Something curious is that on the BTC1 chart, the futures chart, the CME futures gap, we have swept the lows. On most of the cryptocurrency exchanges, right, on futures, we haven't swept the lows from the 25th of July, but on futures we have. We have created a swing failure pattern. This is why I am going to considerate the futures chart, okay, CME futures, because here's where big players trade Bitcoin, right? It's the Chicago exchange, right? It's the CME. So there is billions of dollars traded here on Bitcoin every single week. So it's a big chart. Big institutions are looking at CME futures on Bitcoin. And considering that it has swing failure patterned, maybe if I would have taken this chart into consideration, I would have thought, hey, we have swept the lows of the 25th of July on the BTC1 chart. This is a valid swing failure pattern on BTC1, right? On CME. It's a liquidity grab, and it's a valid long position with your stop loss beneath a low. Maybe if I would have taken, paid attention to this futures chart, maybe I would have entered the long position. But, that is I would have done this, you would have done that. You know, we ain't going to talk about what I would have done. You know, I didn't take it. Well, then we look for the next scenario. But it's just something to take into consideration, right? Because, you know, the BTC1 chart, there's billions of dollars traded here every single week, and it's a chart that we want to take into consideration. And we swing failure pattern. So maybe we need to take it more into consideration for the near future for different setups, such as liquidity grabs from highs and lows. Now, when we take a look at, and I really don't think that this is going to be the scenario, guys. I'm leaning more on the side of, you know, we're possibly creating a much larger ABC corrective move for the next coming weeks, right? This is what I believe is more likely, right? So, you know, and the B wave is going to be extremely complex, right? B waves can retrace to the 382 Fibonacci. It can retrace to the 78 Fibonacci. This is there's a wide range for the B wave. They're the most complex waves when you're looking at elliott wave theory. So it's something that we are not going to talk about, because B waves can go through the roof and go to above $70,000, right? So we need to talk about the confluence zones that we do have near us. Regarding this, guys, we're bouncing from the 382 from this move, and on the CME futures gap, we swing failure patterned. It's like, you know, very difficult, because if you're putting your stop loss here, it's just like you're asking for it. You're asking to get stopped out. In this case, it would have been a good trade. You can be defensive. You're running a free trade right now for whatever could happen in the next coming hours and days, right? Massive recovery. So overall, level, if we were to roll down from here, my strategy remains the same. I am taking into consideration not only this higher low, I'm going to be paying close attention to every single higher low on the higher time frames that we do have, because we could potentially just sweep up this low. We could potentially sweep up this low right over here, or maybe these lows right there. We don't know. We just need to check the reaction. So all of these higher lows for me are a valid sweep of the lows, swing failure pattern, right? And look for a reversal scenario. Either this one or either the one beneath us, right? Over here from the 19th of July. And if it just smashes through those levels, this is the one that I will be paying very close attention. This is a bouncing level without a doubt. So it's just a matter of being patient and how we reacting to these lows. Set a series of alerts, and if we just do not get any type of reaction, no recovery, we are looking for the one at $62,300, which could get a sweep and then a pretty nice recovery, right? So higher time frames, that is what I'm looking at here, okay? Just keeping it simple, remaining patient, right? I don't want to jump into a long, jump into a short randomly. Those are the levels on higher time frames. And if the price does move from here, you might think to yourself, screw you, your levels were not hit. What do we do now? Well, we will just be focusing locally on what's happening on the chart. What are the levels that we need to reclaim to see a slight sign of strength? And I'm just going to keep it relatively simple here. We're kind of wanting to recover above this high volume node. So there is resistance at the moment. When we do get the volume profile from this range, this is an area that is going to be looking quite interesting. If we do start consolidating at this range with a failed breakout, right? Very choppy price action, something similar to what happened yesterday. Of course, this happened when we had the news. We were just consolidating here at 66.5, 66.7, and the price was just, dancing around and then reversed down. If we dance around here at this range, we got an extreme high volume node that if we do crack here, if we crack from this level with a significant move, bang, I am looking at the possibility of this range to hold as support and form a higher low and get another leg to the downside. Another leg to the upside, sorry, right? Now, what I want to see here with this move, right? This would be a nice, small little sign of strength, right? We'll talk about shorting levels right now here on higher time frame, not to worry. But if we do get that solid breakout, what I want to see here is the price retracing down, right? I want to see the retracement with less power than the pump, right? If it is in a three-wave structure, even better, right? Bit of a descending channel-y wedgie structure here, down to the value area low of this range, basically this high volume node on the chart. Now, what I want to see followed by that movement is insanely great bullish CVD divergence, right? Locally. So we get that leg up, bang, say that we explode out, right, from this high volume node that we are getting a little bit of a reaction on the lower time frames. You know, it is an acceptable shorting range if we're looking for double, triple tops locally. If we do get that breakout and we do see the retracement very, very choppy and very, very consolidating, right, back into that high volume node zone where we are currently getting the resistance, and we are forming very aggressive bearish CVD divergence. So you get the leg up here with the CVD, and then on the corrective move, you start moving down very aggressively on the CVD, where you start forming some lower lows on the CVD. You start forming some lower lows here as you are retracing, but you're forming higher lows on the price action. That is going to be absolutely crucial. That is a zone that I would be interested to speculate that the price could get a bounce, okay? So we need a lot of data, guys. I know it needs a lot of data, but if that were to be the case, that is when we can speculate for a possible higher low formation and another leg up, right? At least to test the highs, right? It might break out or it might double top, but overall it would be a target zone if we were to get this successful breakout. So if we break out very aggressively, right, from this high volume node, we're struggling right now as we speak, right? There's a little bit of a struggle here. If we do get that successful breakout, what are the big major levels of resistance, right? And we're going to have to go to a little bit of lower time frames here and analyze, right, the session volume profile. Analyze the previous value levels. If we do, right, and this is a great, I mean, it is without a doubt a good sign of strength. Previous day value levels are very, very good for, you know, if you break through the previous day value area low, you do have possibilities in running back up to the previous, to the, you know, the other range of the value level. Okay, so I would take it into consideration if you do get a really nice move up here above the previous day value area low. And one of the main reasons why is when you have such a strong move to the downside, you know what happens regarding volume, right? You know what happens regarding volume. And I know a lot of people will not expect this, okay? Expect the unexpected. You do not leave hardly any volume when you have a fast move, either to the downside or to the upside. And this means one thing. This means that the price action can move as fast to the upside because you haven't left any volume at all. When you take a look at the session volume profile from this movement to the downside, well, you have left very, very low volume, as you can see on the volume profile, right? There's very, very low volume. So you've moved down fast, but you move up as fast or even faster. So this is something that we need to consider, that if we do break certain levels of resistance very successfully, the price could shoot up to basically hit the lower highs from yesterday, the previous day lower highs. It's a classic level, right? I think a lot of the people are, if you start moving to the upside very aggressively, right, without getting any major reactions, right, no local reactions, no double tops, a lot of people are going to wanting to short the bounce, right, the dead cat bounce, wanting to short it, and then the price just shoots up and gets a V-shaped recovery. And this happens. When does this happen? When you have fast moves to the upside or to the downside. You can see this fast move that we had to the upside on Monday. It was as fast or even faster to the downside. When we do not leave major consolidations on the chart, the price action can move very fast through those ranges, right? So you got fast move down here, fast move up. Fast move up here, we did get some lows, a bit of volatility we were trying to maintain, but overall fast move to the downside. Why? We didn't leave any proof of support, no consolidations. What happened to the price? It came back down to the lows from the start of that pump. So we want to consider the possibility of the price shooting up here. And a clear sign that we could do so is breaking up here above the value area low. When we do take a look at the volume profile, right, and we can actually take a look at it from this range, there is a significant clear gap with no volume, right? You can see how volume kind of disappears in this area, meaning that you could have that fast recovery to sweep up those highs. So that is one scenario. I mean, this is very, very complex to trade, okay, without a doubt, because you don't want to be the last guy, jumping into a long position, FOMOing in, right? You just need to realize that it's a possibility. So the question is here, getting above this area, will it be successful? When that retracement, could it form a higher low? So, I mean, I'm talking about different scalping ideas here, guys. And I'm trying to explain what we're looking at, okay? Because without a doubt, we got a series of lower highs here. You got the value area low of this trading zone, which is basically where we have this small consolidation. We have the previous month equilibrium. Anybody that is not aware about the previous month equilibrium, it might sound, what the heck's the previous month equilibrium? Is that really a thing? Is that really a level? Well, the previous month equilibrium is basically the 50% Fibonacci from the previous month, right? And I take these levels into consideration on the chart. They are respected many times when you add confluence. When you get the previous month equilibrium, it's the previous month equilibrium, my bad. We got another month here. I need to mark the previous month. But anyway, nevertheless, the previous month equilibrium has, funny enough, got resistance. It is the 50% Fibonacci right over here. We got resistance from the move down yesterday at that level. This is a very interesting level, because without a doubt, it's a level where the price could fail to break. So this could be a crucial pivot where we are looking for a trading setup. If the price successfully moves above that level, which proved to be resistance yesterday, we could have that significant move to higher levels. We could have a V-shaped recovery. And the main reason why is because you are getting above the previous day value area low, where you have left no volume whatsoever. And this is a classic zone where the price could just move up very aggressively back up here to the previous day highs. I know it sounds unreal, I know guys, but there is a very high chance that the price could do that just because of the lack of resistance that we do have above this level. So this level is resistance, and the price could fake out and struggle very much to break out from this level. If we are going to get this kind of price action at this zone, which is $65,100, and we do have the price attempting several times to break through in the next coming hours, then it could without a doubt be a good short opportunity. Okay, so reaction at this zone is without a doubt a zone where I could see the price rolling back down. So we're just gonna have to be paying attention here. It's the previous month equilibrium, and we do have the value area low of yesterday. A successful breakout above this level, you might think that the price is going to retrace back down. However, there is a high probability that we could just move up as fast, guys. And the explanation is simple. There is no volume, there is no resistance backing up that level. We do have a naked point of control, okay, which is sitting basically where we have the previous day low. Sorry, my bad, this is not the previous day low. Let me delete that. The naked point of control, previous day point of control, basically is sitting right over here at $66,300. But overall, hitting that level, you're already retracing all the way up there. Okay, so no reaction here, and we break through successfully. I would be looking for a V-shaped recovery kind of style here to get back above 66K and even, you know, have an attempt to hit 67K. And the explanation is simple. When you move fast to the downside or to the upside, you can move as fast to the upside. You move fast to the downside, you can move as fast to the upside. Move as fast to the upside, move as fast to the downside. When you start consolidating, that is where the price gets reactions. So there's no proper consolidation on yesterday's drop, giving a possibility that we can sweep up yesterday's highs, okay? So you want to be very, very cautious because this is a trap zone, without a doubt. The first level of resistance is just sitting right over here. We're just a couple of $100 away. This is the zone where we should be getting some resistance. We start dancing around at this level. It's a level that I would consider getting into shorts to come back down to the lows. A successful breakout from this level is something that I would consider the price going to higher levels. Of course, what usually happens is you move very fast without any pullbacks. So you're waiting for that pullback and you want to jump into the trade on a pullback. However, the price does not get those pullbacks and it just slowly moves to the upside, right? Well, it's not slowly, very aggressively. So on the lower time frames, we're gonna have to analyze very carefully, guys, here. And I know it sounds boring, guys. I know, you know, this is, guys, people must be like, yeah, dude, you know, fuck that shit. I want to get into a trading setup now, right? Show me a long or a short. It's not as easy, guys. I wish it was as easy. But what I would be looking for here is a movement up. And if we do get an aggressive breakout and we get some solid volume, right? Or a rejection, like I mentioned the possibility here, right? You get that rejection, right? Double top, you're looking for a reversal. This is a zone where it's kind of the last line on the sand where you want to get that rejection move. If you get a solid breakout, I would be very much interested on that pullback to see this area, the previous day value area low, and check how the CVD is doing. If we get an aggressive corrective move on the price action, okay, and we do get massive selling pressure on the CVD, and we're forming lower lows on the CVD and higher lows on the price action, I mean, that would be the ideal scenario. then I would be looking for the price to get continuation to the upside. Even locally, okay? Even locally from this pivot, right? If you're forming higher lows, you might as well bounce here because this could move up very aggressively, and you're forming lower lows on the CVD. You need to follow the CVD locally if you want to jump into the long trade. And, you know, like I said, there is high probability that if you move successfully above the previous day value area low, you could see that strong momentum to the upside, right? Where everybody's like looking for the short, looking for the lower high, and then you come up and sweep up the highs, right? It's just a classic trap. Classic trap because, you know, a lot of people will be eyeing this as, you know, big major downtrend to come to lower levels. But like I said, you know, there's no volume here. There's nothing of resistance. So that is a little bit of an explanation, guys, here. Like I said, the charts change by the hour, by the minute, right? So we need to adapt to different scenarios. You know, this is why, you know, you might see me bullish or bearish on thumbnails or titles, but like I said, things change very, very rapidly depending on the reaction on certain levels, because I could say that, yeah, price could break out from here and move to higher levels, but I could also, you know, this is a crucial pivot point, right? So this is going to be our decision zone depending on the price, how it reacts. Previous day value area low, you got this lower high right over here. You got the 50% Fibonacci from this entire drop, which is sitting right there at that zone. This might just be one lower high and it's rolling back down. So this is a decision point, right, where I'm interested to see what the chart, the price action is going to do. And, you know, if we roll down from here, then I'm like, okay, you front run this zone, right? It is what it is. So that is a little bit of what I'm looking at here, guys, right? In this area, let's see what happens at this zone and what happens at the lows, right? I'm very much interested in seeing what happens here and what happens here to then take a decision. Either jump into the long position based on the momentum, based on local bullish CVD divergence. That's what I would want to see on these small little pullbacks. I would want to see lower lows on the CVD, higher lows on the price action, jump into the train and go with the momentum, be defensive with stop, okay? And if we struggle to break out from previous day value area low in the next coming hours, it will be a good shorting opportunity to look for that local double top or even triple top, right? We're having many attempts and you're looking for that movement down. This double triple top theory, guys, it happens. It happens. This is why I did short here as well, right? You might think, well, double triple top, what are you talking about? You know, if I do see that on the chart, I will take the short position. You got a double top right over here that ends up in a triple top. And yes, I am still in that short position that we got rejected from. And that's what we need to wait for. That's, you know, it's a waiting game. This is wait for the highest probability. I know you haven't got time to wait, and this is why you're going to jump randomly on any trade position, which you end up losing money if you don't have that trading plan, right? So, you know, this is what I would like to see at this level, and if I don't see that, well, then I won't trade. Simple as. So anyway, let's go right away through the comment section, guys. Remember, if you are not trading, you have bluffing competition going on. You do have an insane bonus, which is 15% cash back from your deposit only with our link, okay? I know you get some other bonuses, 10% cash back. You know, we got a great deal with bluffing where you get 15% cash back on your deposit. And we got the competition running, guys. Make sure to join the competition because we have a high chance in getting a piece of the cake of these $300,000. We are already in top ranking here on the competition, as you can see, based on volume. All right, so make sure to join the competition as well, and you might get a piece of the cake if you're trading anyway. You got the link down below in the description, guys, if you want to join the bluffing competition, and also sign up down below to get that 15% cash back from your deposit. So that's a little bit of the levels here, more locally here, guys. That's a little bit of the levels locally, what we have. And I want to talk about the dollar index. That's very curious about the Bitcoin futures low here from the 25th of July has been swept, and we have got a significant bounce. It did swing failure pattern on the BTC1 chart, and we are hitting the 382 Fibonacci retracement, right, from the lows to the highs. Not an easy long position. You know, this is a very rare long that I would take, right? If I would have gotten to the long, that would have been the main reason. We SFP'd from the BTC1 chart, and we hit the 382 Fibonacci. So let's talk about the dollar index. There's really not much to talk about on the dollar index. Dollar index got a big major bounce. It was dropping yesterday. It's bouncing back today. So we're basically ranging still at the point of control from the last 2 years. We're still there. We're just dancing around. If the dollar index bounces successfully, right, we get back above those highs from this week, it's not going to be looking too great for Bitcoin. I would be expecting Bitcoin to still continue the correction to the downside, to sweep up beneath $63,000, $62,000. But if the price, if the DXY does manage to get that breakdown, well, obviously I would be looking for a significant recovery, right? We want to see the dollar index with a major daily close well beneath the lows from the last few days, and this will be looking very good indeed. This would mean that the dollar index has a lot of room to drop, okay, to the higher low support, to the value area low, sweep up this low at least, right? We got a significant move down on the dollar index if we close a daily candle beneath the lows that we do have from the previous days. So, I mean, that's what I would want to see to be confident that Bitcoin is going to reverse very aggressively. So let's go through the comment section, and let's go through the comment section. There is a little bit of news. We can talk about liquidity, okay? Sorry about the comment section, guys. I haven't talked about gone through the comment section too much today, unfortunately. My bad, guys. I will go through right away. Liquidity is interesting. Look at the amount of liquidity that we are building up here above yesterday's highs, right? Hundreds of millions of dollars. Looking at the lower time frame, of course, we do have a couple of hundred million below 63,500. So either way, there is a lot of liquidity, right? This is why I'm interested in a sweep of the local lows. I would be interested in a double bottom here, without a doubt, okay? I will be ready. The question is, will you be ready to take decision, manage risk accordingly for that level? We do have a bunch of liquidity beneath us, right, from today's lows, and also above $67,000, right? There's some really nice juicy liquidity that has been formed right over here, okay? So maybe the price could V-shape if we do break above the previous day value area low. It could happen, guys. It could happen. Stay cautious by shorting a pump, right? Pumping. Stay cautious by shorting the pump. This could V-shape recover if we get back above the previous day value area low. Regarding liquidity on a higher time frame, we still have billions of dollars, obviously above $70K and $72,000. There is billions of dollars, okay, right over there of short liquidations, and that is telling me that any pullbacks will likely be bought back up again, okay, in the next coming weeks. Let's go right away through the comment section now. Yes, I want to go through some interesting news that is going on, guys. Obviously, we talk about news, and there's great information to know about, so we'll be going through the news. The technical analysis and the trading setups has been provided here on Bitcoin, and later on today I will be providing full analysis on Ethereum for the Legends trading community, okay? Looking for Ethereum setups just like the one we did back on Friday live on YouTube that played out. Wow. Still in that long position, taking most of the profits as we are getting this pullback. I am still in that long position, very small long position, taking most of the profits. As you can see, over $800 worth of profit. Left a tiny bit open just in case the price does recover and forms a higher low. So we'll be doing a full analysis on Ethereum with the Legends trading community to look for the local trading setups. Gonna go through the comment section, then we'll go through a little bit some news. Is it a rejection, says Dandy? A rejection on Bitcoin? Is this a rejection point? Like I said, you know, would be nice to have an attempt to try and break the previous day value area low. This for me would be the decision zone, right? This is the decision area for me to believe, are we going to reject or are we going to break out? This is where I will decide if I want to get into a short. And if we just continue pumping, there's no major reaction, I would consider a long position on the pullback, okay? I'll be very, very cautious because even this could be a fake out. Would be very, very cautious to see the pullback. I'll be very patient, analyzing very carefully on the lower time frame. Are we forming bullish CVD divergence? We need a lot of data, guys. Not a lot of data here. I need to see the lower lows formed on the CVD as we're moving up here to believe that we are going to break through and continue to the upside. Now, let's dive in here, continue through the comment section. It swept all lows on adjusted contracts. Yes, on the futures, it did also sweep up the lows. Alin, what's my target in Gala or Cardano or VET or Say or Mina for bull run peak? Please answer my question, says Maya. Wow. There is 3 top on 1 minute right now, says down below. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could scalp this. I mean, I haven't been focusing. Yeah, there's a small little triple top here on the 1 minute time frame. Yeah, this is an acceptable, aggressive short trade. I gotta be honest. We're not hitting a major level of resistance zone. I mean, you're probably hitting a high volume node from this consolidation. Yeah, not really. You're actually finding a little bit of support right now from this high volume node, right? Yeah, very aggressive. I prefer these highs over here, okay? That's where we have the previous day value area low. It's a much better zone of confluence to take a decision. So targets for Gala, Cardano, VeChain, TRX, say Mina. I'm going to say Mina has a high chance in going to its previous all-time high, going above $5. I do see Mina doing at least a 10x in the bull run, and it potentially could do a 20, 30x, okay? But as a minimum, Mina, I believe it's a very strong project that will do very well. Of course, the pullback is devastating right now. But hey, if you want to buy cheap, then you got the opportunity, right? Then don't say, oh, I missed the low. Well, you know, 40 cents, 30 cents, great price levels to buy some cheap Mina, in my opinion. Target zones, sky's the limit. Sky is the limit. I do think that Mina could go to $5 plus in the bull run, okay? Only a scalp. Yeah, absolutely. You could have taken it only as a scalp, that short position. A bit aggressive, right? It is a bit aggressive. We don't have an insane amount of resistance. It is a bit of an aggressive scalp. Yeah, really low call double top. You want to be, you know, it's a very dangerous one. But you could have taken it. Maybe this is going to lower high from here and start rolling down. So you can be very defensive. If you triple top, you're just very defensive as you move down. If you want to look for that day trade and that lower high, right? And you're just going to roll down. It is a bit of an aggressive short position. Let's go grab at 67K and then down to the lows, maybe, says Adja. Well, could that happen? Absolutely, yes. Like I said, this does really look like that we could be forming this kind of structure looking at Elliott wave theory, which is basically getting an ABC kind of move. You're getting the rally here without a doubt. The amount of if we were to rally suddenly above $67,000, I will be looking for a short trade on a rejection, on a reaction or a rejection. Of course, if we just suddenly blast through and we maintain above $67,000, I am going to randomly short the pump, right? It's important to get the rejection and manage risk. And those lower highs from yesterday and the last couple of days, they are definitely crucial pivot points where you would want to look for the short, because you could be speculating on a lower high B wave and then get the next leg down here in the next coming days, right? To sweep up the lows. And this would be, you know, hey, we've been talking about this scenario. We've been bearish at $70,000. We were looking for a top and a swing short position the last few days, right? We've been talking about this movement for a couple of weeks already, right? So yeah, I mean, this is what is next, right? The question is with corrective moves, they can be very complex, right? Especially the B waves. B waves can be very high, they can be very low. So, this is the thing right now, right? Where are we going to form that possible B wave? Well, without a doubt, the strongest level of resistance on higher time frames is that $67,000 range. Why? Because it's the point of control, that boring point of control of March till July, right? When we get the fixed volume profile. So the price action could fail miserably to try and break above that level. We got something very similar happening back in June here, also in April, because this was the point of control still based on the consolidation of March. We got, we attempted to break above the point of control. We failed. We failed here, but overall successfully moved above. Support, 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 breakdown, resistance. Major consolidation here, failed breakout, a lot of double, triple tops here, and then reversed. And this could happen, something similar to that happened here. You move down successfully, you move up, you fail to move above the level, right? Big level, you got the lower highs from yesterday and the last couple of days. This is without a doubt a possible rejection point. And it would make sense for a B wave. Okay, so, that's another plan that wants to be created on the higher time frame. I would be interested in shorts. I would be interested in a lower high creation. You got some significant liquidity right there, and it could just be a liquidity grab. You're forming the B wave, you're getting above 67K, then you're rolling back down. Because there is a lot of liquidity still beneath $63,000. There's a few $1 billion that I would be expecting to be swept in the next coming days. So, multiple different scenarios, multiple different setups, guys. Okay, very, very hard to predict which one will play out, but there is trading plans. We got shorting levels, we got longing levels, depending on the reaction, right? Based on the confluence that there is. So yeah. Yes, sir. But what if we are in macro top for Bitcoin? New all-time highs is done and maybe time for much more down. I mean, in crypto, there is no it must. Same altcoin season. What if it will be happen this cycle? What if it does not happen this cycle, right? An altcoin season is inevitable, okay? It's inevitable. What do I mean by inevitable? It's going to happen at some point. The question is the timing, right? Is it going to be in Q4 of 2024 or is it going to be in Q1 of 2025? It's inevitable that the Bitcoin halving is going to happen. It's going to happen, especially when you take a look at the BTC dominance chart. My goodness, this is just, it's a full recipe. It's going to happen. We are in a very strong uptrend and this uptrend could continue. But this is when altcoins bleed. Do you know where do you want to buy altcoins? When it's popping and you're already in the middle of the altcoin season, or when it's going down and you're getting absolutely wrecked? I mean, I've explained this many times on the live stream and I continue to do so. I've been in crypto since 2018. I entered in the bear market. And I was buying the dip and it was continuing to dip for over 2 years. And then C19 crash came. The Black Swan event came and it got me extremely wrecked. For the short period of time, my portfolio looked like crap. And I was like, my goodness, I've been 2 years investing in cryptocurrency, losing money. Well, I didn't lose money because I didn't sell anything. I was continuing to buy. And then the C19 crash and it's like a big slap on the face, right? This is how it works, guys. This is why I have a significant amount of cash just in case what could happen, right? Maybe we'll get a Black Swan event in September, maybe not in November, maybe things can get very messy before the prices do recover, especially on altcoins, right? So have a little bit of spare cash on the side because if we do get an aggressive dip on altcoins, guys, it's going to be shopping time. It's going to be shopping time. This is so good to see on the chart, right? When you do see the C19 crash from back, How do you feel? How do you think people felt here in crypto? How do you think the people that were invested in cryptocurrency and buying every single dip felt when we had the C19 crash, guys? I can tell you, I felt like crap. However, I knew that I had to buy more. I had to buy more. My portfolio was, down over 75% entirely. Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins. It looked like crap. And it's not a good feeling, right? But you need to be aggressive. You need, you continue buying. It's all in or nothing, guys. This was the best decision in my life. It was life-changing. After a year, you make life-changing gains. You're going to see something very similar. However, the timing is very difficult. Just imagine buying here, right? You wish you would have bought thousands of dollars of altcoins, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of altcoins, right? Down here. You will be a multi-millionaire. So just be ready for any kind of event especially on altcoins, because we could correct to lower levels. We could see a black swan event, but like I said, these are usually the best buying opportunities that you could have, right? So just be ready for any of those occasions. We cannot predict a black swan event. And when you take a look at this chart on the Bitcoin dominance, it is inevitable that this uptrend will finish at some point. Even though if we get another pump, it will reverse. You might get, if it moves up very aggressively, I can already tell you that will be very close to the peak. When the price of when the Bitcoin dominance moves up aggressively in a short period of time, it indicates a local top. Okay, if we see that movement very, very aggressively on the Bitcoin dominance, it will signal that the altcoin season is just about to start. Because that's when you form the peak. It's when you form a peak, when things get messy, right? That's when that's the biggest opportunity that you can get into altcoins, not halfway through the altcoin season. So take this as an opportunity. Lower you go, the cheaper you are going to buy. Legends, I'm going to have to rush right now. I'm really sorry for that, but I'm going to have to go. But I'm going to go quickly through some updates. Bitcoin and S&P 500 have diverged over the past day, with BTC significantly underperforming, right? We have the S&P 500 actually in a pretty nice uptrend, okay, during the last few days, and Bitcoin moving down quite aggressively, which is very rare to see, right? We have Jerome Powell reducing in our policy rate, could be on the table as soon as the next meeting in September. There is speculation that interest rates are going to go down from September. I think people are looking very excited on the possibility of that happening. And like I mentioned with this chart over here, every time we have been getting interest rate down aggressively, right? If we are going to do it slowly, then probably we are going to see soft landing, well, depending, it really does depend on how we're going to decrease interest rates. But you can see here 2007 to 2008, every single month decreasing rates. That is when we entered the recession. So I'm not that excited of the interest rates going down, guys. I know most of the people are. I'm not that excited. That is when we usually enter a recession period for several months. So yeah, that's what we do have here. Potentially interest rates going down from September. We do have the elections in November. And if Donald Trump is elected, there's a lot of speculation that will be bullish. Very mixed sentiment, guys, to the end of the year. I'm leaning overall bullish, but overall, yeah, anything could happen. I'm not too excited about interest rates going down, because in the past, it hasn't been a good sign. We've been entering recessions every single time interest rates have been going down. It's on the data, guys. It's on the chart. For the last 5 decades, when interest rates go down, we enter recession. It's on the data. So I'm not too excited about that. Just have plenty of cash on the sidelines for whatever could happen. The US Senator 𝗖𝗍 𝗠𝗫 has officially introduced a bill to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve for the USA. Without a doubt, extremely bullish for the mid-long term. Despite any corrective moves, Bitcoin is already, it's already in, all the governments, countries have their eye on Bitcoin, and this is absolutely insanely bullish for the mid-long term for Bitcoin, right? So as a really good news, Tether announced a record-breaking 5.2 billion in profit in the first half of 2024. So Tether company doing very, very well. Wouldn't be too worried about US dollar Tether, at least in the short term. US ETFs buys 8 Bitcoin today. Not much. Still some inflows, very, very low inflows, but overall still looking quite good. Okay, inflows are continuing to the upside. Something interesting about the 𝗬𝗏 wallet, guys. I'm not sure if you guys, there is somebody that is buying 100 Bitcoin every time, right? Every day, every week, and he buys it from 100 and 100 and 100. And what is curious to see is that Tether, right? On July 29th, the 𝗬𝗏 Bitcoin address reported holdings of $4.74 billion worth of Bitcoin. This is nearly identical to the 4.7 billion worth of Bitcoin reported in Tether's Q2 attestation. So is the 𝗬𝗏 the Tether company? Absolutely. Absolutely do believe that it could be Tether that is DCAing aggressively and buying 100 Bitcoin every single time, right? So there's a high chance that it could be coming from Tether. We have El Salvador, the small little country in Central America, proposes using Bitcoin to trade with Russia. Very cool. Bitcoin actually potentially being used in the near future for official economic trade, right? Worldwide. Looking very interesting. Trump crushed it yesterday. Trump had a great interview yesterday. Trump had a career-ending interview yesterday. We'll have to take a look at that. I lost money on Render. Render is at, Render, be cautious. Render has had a very, very strong uptrend during the last year. So you want to be very cautious with Render buying at certain levels. So we take a look at Render here for the Render, without a doubt, AI. Let's take a look at Render here. Very nasty, guys. Anything that breaks its previous all-time high and has a significant breakthrough and rejects very aggressively beneath it, I don't like this chart at all. I know Render has been one of the most hyped AI cryptos from most of YouTube influencers, guys, and they've been saying to buy. I would say that DCAing for the next coming months, maybe maybe it can go to lower levels. This is a very aggressive downtrend that is happening right in the last few weeks. There's no bottom formation. There's no. Be cautious, guys, who you get advice from, because this is all a hype, right? AI, real world assets, AI, this, that. This reminds me of the metaverse bubble that happened in the previous cycle. I stayed away, and I said to the community, stay away from these massive big pumps based on metaverse. And it was a big fat bubble. Well, this is something very similar. Okay. However, I do expect the price to bottom out at some stage, and we will manage to see where the price bottoms out. Finding a bottom is very, very easy. It's very easy to find a bottom. You get a pump, you get a dump, then price exhausts. We need to wait for this to get exhausted, selling pressure. When this happens, I will be the first one, guys, saying this is a great buy. Legends, thank you very much for joining the stream. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.